Well, first of all, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank
Uh,
you. Thanks for doing this too.
totally. No, this has been a quest for a while. I've been trying to do an interview with you since I think Tribeca when I saw Flower.
Really?
Yeah, because I was crusading for that movie.
Oh, well, I certainly have seen all the things that I'm a good Twitter stalker, so I'm very excited to talk to you.
Awesome. But yeah, because it became like an annual tradition. It was between like Everybody Wants Some and Flower, and especially Buffaloed. It was like, well, I'm trying to get her nominated for something, and people weren't paying attention, and that is pissing me off.
You're
Um,
very sweet. I appreciate you being in my corner in the way that you have been for this long.
it's easy when someone has one interesting taste and also good taste, which you always are kind of leery when someone's like on the upswing and okay, the projects are getting bigger and more interesting. Oh no, what's gonna have like the number six at the end? Oh, who offered a paycheck? And it's kind of cool that it's you'd rather be in like Graham Moore's movie as opposed to I'm sure there are offers that come in. They're like, well, this isn't great, but also I can see the house it would buy. There's fun stuff there.
Well, I'm lucky. I don't have kids. I don't have a whole situation to that informs these decisions. I'm very fortunate in that regard, but it is interesting. I guess looking back on it, the choices have been maybe a little left of center, I guess, for lack of a better way of saying it. And I also realized how much I love playing scammers.
Yeah.
I really did not pick up on that until I realized Flower, Buffaloed, and then this movie that I recently finished called Not Okay. I just love playing like high octane, intense scammers. So that's been an interesting realization. I'm not sure where that comes from, but
I mean, it's a fun exercise too, because in real life, if you're up too high, you better have a reason. If I'm just going to the store and I'm super excited and there's a reason for that, or you're crazy. But in
right,
a movie, you can frame a character as well. They're always that, and that's the reality of the world. And you
right.
can play in that and get that fix in a way that you can't necessarily get just like ordering breakfast.
Right. No, it's true. I always say it's like you get to live these crazy lives and not ruin your own.
Oh, totally. You could just be like, well, what are these offers? Okay, I can be a drug addict. I can be a superhero. I can be a con artist. Like, I don't want to be any of these in real life,
In real life, absolutely
um,
not.
but to pay me to do them and pretend, yeah, let's
Yes,
talk.
absolutely.
But yeah, like, how do you pick a project, especially the more that people see your work and then, either want to work with you or you just become in the hopper of like, we need an actress. Oh, she's one of the six, as opposed to she's one of the 600, which is terrifying, I imagine, at the beginning.
Well, I have never done a movie from a straight offer except for ones that I produced myself. So
Yeah.
every other movie I've fought really hard for, including the outfit. The Buffaloed I produced and developed, and then the last two movies I just did as well, Not Okay and Something from Tiffany's I produced. So I didn't audition for those, but otherwise every movie I've auditioned for, meaning I really wanted them, and they at first didn't want me probably. So I had to. There probably is an element of liking to fight for it a little.
Yeah.
So I guess in terms of like answering how do I pick things, I think for the last 10 years or something, I've been really focused on characters. And if I read something, am I excited by the character? And I definitely feel a shift right now, which is, am I excited by the director?
Yeah.
I would really like to work with like deeply experienced directors who can tell me I don't know jack shit.
Yeah.
That's the only shift that I feel right now in terms of deciding what I want to do next, if
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
Yeah, totally. And I think it's harder to do that earlier on because you may have a little bit of name recognition, or there may be a movie people have seen, but it's harder to get on the radar, no pun intended, like a bigger name, just because there's bigger names that want to work with him. Like, you're not the only one who would be like, Steven Spielberg is a good director. I wonder what
No,
he's up to.
right, totally. But I do think the interesting misconception, at least from people that I talk to that I really admire and careers that I would love to have similarities to It Never Ends.
Yeah.
That thing you're talking about, it never ends. Like you're always having to fight a little bit, and you're always even the biggest of the biggest have to, push to get what they really want, because it's usually things that people don't want them for, if that makes sense. I'm not being very
totally. No,
but I think there's a misconception that once you get to a certain place, once you win that Oscar and once you do that thing, I mean, usually it gets harder. I think there's a lot of truth in that. It's actually harder to succeed than to fail big, there's like a reason that there's a lot of curses of, or jokes about curses after you win an Oscar, or you get, you get a lot of like success. I don't know if you see that at all. You analyze things like this and see things in a much more clear way, because it's,
well, I mean, sometimes it's, luck of the draw, and like you made 6 movies in the last 2 years. What order are they coming out? That might tell a way different story than you were planning. You're like, oh, I won an Oscar, wasn't expecting it. Oh God, the next movie is the big dumb one I made for money. Oh crap, people are gonna think that's what I do now.
Yeah, no, totally. There is a lot of luck involved. I do think, like, my favorite quote. Have you ever read The Artist's Way, that book?
Yeah.
I love that book. There's a quote in it that I'm like a broken record, but it's pray to catch the bus, then run as fast as you can. Totally. Because I think so much of life in general, but this job, there's so much out of your control, that the stuff that you can control, like, working as hard as you fucking can, and maybe learning an accent when you're on your off time, and maybe like run as fast as you can to get there. And then sorry, I'm getting my nails done right now. As you can see. It's okay, Patty. There's so much out of your control that I don't know. I think pray to catch the bus and run as fast as you can is a great way to describe, like, at least my experience with it. And I'm still really running as fast as I can. I think I probably will be as long as I live, as long as I do this.
And it shows. I mean, it shows in the work. And if you're someone who works hard and is clearly enjoying themselves and isn't pissing people off on set, like, there's that own thing where, like, that's going to get you work beyond being good at your job. Like, people want to spend time with you and you don't make life harder. Like, that's a great spot to be in. And then the quality factors in. So I feel like that's always a good tiebreaker too, is like, if Graham's considering you and 3 other people, and one of the 3 is like, oh, well, they're a lot. And like, I hear that Zoe's a delight. Like, that might make his decision easier.
I think it does. I think in my experience, honestly, from the producer side of things, I certainly make those. I mean, I call, if it's between 3 people and I've done a chemistry test with, 3 guys, I call people that they worked with. And if I hear even a slight sort of, why make your life harder than it has to be? It's it's like in life in general, like, why it's tough already. So why not just.
Because this should be fun. Like, wait, we get paid to make pretend? Like, this is ridiculous. What we won already. Like, why be a pouty bitch when you're here? Like, why not just like love that you get to go to camp every day?
Yeah, and speaking of that, to the experience of the outfit, it really was. Everybody was so all in on the like, let's go to camp and let's all learn together and grow together. We shot the movie chronologically. We rehearsed the movie chronologically. The process was like it was a play. And it's funny, there's this more often than not, there's an actor or 2 that are like, well, I don't have a week or 2 to rehearse. I don't want to, or at least, it comes from the representatives, which, you never really know where it's coming from exactly. But it was so fun to everybody to be so gung ho and excited about rehearsing for 2 weeks. And I don't know, that was such an amazing experience. Also to get to learn from Mark Rylance, who is
just makes it look almost too easy. Like, that's the thing about this movie that's so fun, is like, as you get into the world, and I know we have to wrap, but you never have that moment of like, oh, it looks like they're in dress up, or like it looks like a stage thing. You just get caught up in like, oh, there's more to it. There's more to it. And you can just see how much fun it must be for you guys all to be like, okay, we get to reveal a little bit more, but I'm playing a whole different character by the end.
It was so, thank you for saying that. It was so fun. It was also the thing that you're talking about. I mean, it felt very authentic for us because none of us had shot anything chronologically, and And so to have the experience of not so much of your job is tracking, like, okay, wait a minute, when we shot the scene right before this 3 weeks ago, did I have the thing in my right hand or my left hand, which takes you out of it sometimes, like continuity and tracking where you were emotionally and all the different versions you did or whatever. None of that, you weren't doing that because we were shooting it chronologically. So to me, it felt like a much more authentic experience. Very fulfilling, very, it made me want to do a play so badly. I was like,
Yeah, I'd watch it. I know you have more of these to do and nails to do.
Oh,
Thank you
no.
so much for this. Like I
So
enjoy
good
the
to
movie.
meet you. You've always been very, very kind, very generous to me, and it doesn't go unnoticed. And I really appreciate you. So thank
Oh,
you.
my pleasure. And I will keep it up because I'm nothing if not persistent.
You were so sweet. And I hope we can talk again soon when Not Okay comes out. I want you to see that.
Definitely. I'm eager to.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Have
My
a good
pleasure.
one.